It doesn't look bad at this point of time. Majority of the companies have either come out with strong numbers or in-line set of numbers. I think if you're looking at the numbers that are weak, basically compromises of certain private PSU bank, certain private banks, a lot of auto names and pharma. So that's the basics that we're getting. Now, if you take a look at the past trends, this time around, if you're looking at it, 14 companies have reported strong numbers, 18 in-line and 11 weak. So the number of strong companies reporting numbers have gone up, the numbers of inline has come down, and the number of weak numbers have gone up. So it's been a rather mixed sort of number this time around, but nevertheless we've had a decent 14 companies which have reported numbers, 7 more to go. Individually, if you're looking at some of the sectors, UPL was the only company in the agri space, meets estimates after 2 weak quarters that came in. The FY19 guidance was cautiously optimistic by the company. Again, if you're looking at Ultratech as performance, fifth strong quarter, higher volumes and cost efficiencies aided the numbers. Ultratech is the only cement company. ACC and Ambuja are out of the Nifty. As far as the numbers from the FMCG space are concerned, strong numbers by the FMCG space. HUL did well. Titan came well. The guidance was also rather optimistic. So consumer and FMCG as a pack did well in this earnings season. So did the metal counters. Higher volumes and commodity prices aided the numbers. So most of the metal counters did well in the numbers this time around. Apart from it, the Adani Port is the only port company in the Nifty. It met estimates. The volume growth and the SEZ income did manage to surprise this time around. The other sectors that we want to speak about, and that will come up on your screen, the auto numbers were rather weak. Maruti, weak numbers after straight 6 quarters of strong or inline numbers. Inline numbers for Hero for this 5th straight quarter. Bajaj Auto was the only one that did manage to do well. Apart from it, it was rather weak numbers that came in from the other companies. Jaguar Land Rover did manage to disappoint JLR, and that affected Tata Motors. Eicher Royal Enfield was rather weak this time around. The other sector that you need to talk about is the oil space. Reliance was weak after quarters and quarters of outperformance. Refining margins were weak. Geo numbers were weak, so Reliance disappointed. The oil marketing companies also, the refining margins did manage to disappoint. So HPCL and IOC have disappointed. BPCL is yet to report its numbers. As far as the other sectors are concerned, IT, strong performance after 6 quarters of muted performance came in by Tata Consultancy Services. It was the big outperformer. The other companies were rather disappointing. Margin guidance disappointed for Infosys this time around. Similar case was with HCL, when the numbers were okay, but the outlook did manage to disappoint. Wipro was weak this time around, and Tech Mahindra came out with numbers yesterday, which was rather strong in trade, but the counter is reacting negatively to the numbers today. The other sector that we want to talk about is the financial services. Asset quality improved sharply for Yes Bank. That counter did manage to rally. Axis Bank posted the first quarterly loss since listing, so that was the big disappointment, and so was the case with ICICI when the NPA rose significantly. Provision rise and report in the second quarter in the earnings. SBI, the commentary was rather strong, and the Bajaj twins managed to do extremely well on robust growth and strong outlook in the 4th quarter. And finally, if you're looking at some of the other sectors, telecom, Bharti Airtel did manage to do well, but that was not the case with Bharti Infratel, which disappointed with numbers, and so consolidation impacted tenancy for Bharti Infratel. And finally, if you're looking at the sectoral performance in pharma, Sun Pharma did well. The financials were strong and outlook was rather strong, but the other companies did manage to disappoint this time around. Muted earnings that came in, and that is something that disappointed. Lupin Cipla, and this has to be Dr. Reddy's. So Dr. Reddy was a Nifty company that managed to disappoint.